Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and welcome back to ProOverAnalyzed, which is of course the series where we take a look at pro level games and see if we can work out what the hell is going on and see if we can take any kind of tips from this. So what we've got is Envyus versus Detroit Renegades. This is the Overwatch Contenders North American division. Now whoever wins this competition wins $100,000. So this isn't like a minor competition. This is actually the biggest competition, or one of the biggest competitions which is going on right now for Overwatch. It's the official Blizzard sort of feeder competition into Overwatch League. Now, Envyus is an Overwatch League team, okay? It's not been confirmed, but I'm pretty sure they're getting the Houston, Texas spot. Now, they are one of the best teams in this game. They are the best in the West. Now, when people say the best in the West, what they mean by that is the best team outside of Korea. There is Lunatic High, Luxury Watch Blue. They're probably better than Envyus. Maybe some other Korean teams are fairly close to them. But Envyus are a top-tier team. So what we're going to watch in this video is a player called Taimou. And we're going to watch how he changes throughout the game and how this change can be seen as, well, kind of positive. So let's get stuck into what's going on. So Detroit Renegades are not on the same level as Envyus, right? There's nobody that argued that they would. Envyus are expected to win and win quite easily. However, look at this. We have got Mangachu, who is a Pharah specialist player, and Sherlocky babysitting him. So we've got a pharmacy combo, and we're on Lijiang Gardens. Now, guys, you know Lijiang is an amazing map, apart from Control Center, for Pharah, right? She can just do tons of work on this point. She can do tons of work on Night Market as well. So you need to be ready for this kind of play. Now, look at Envyus' team. Nothing in this team is designed to take out a pharmacy combo. Like, absolutely nothing. They've got Taimou on a Genji. They've got Effect, who is an amazing tracer, but he's on a tracer. Not exactly the best counter against the pharmacy. They've got Mickey. Well, he's on D.Va. He always plays D.Va. She's fine. And this is obviously the old D.Va as well with the 4-second defense matrix. Because this is the patch before the patch we're playing on live. And the reason why they play on all the patches, guys, is because they train on them. And if you just suddenly change, you know, the patch in the middle of a competition, that's not great. So yeah, they don't really have anything to deal with this. Like, you could say maybe Chips could get some lucky shots off, you know, onto the pharmacy and kill it, but it's not great. And the thing Envyus don't do in this entire point is they just do not give respect to the power of Mangachu's Pharah. Mangachu is one of the best Pharah players there is. They know he's going to play Pharah. That there was friggin' amazing, by the way. That's how you counter. That's how you counter Pharah with a pulse bomb from Tracer. Admittedly, she was like barrage and fairly low there. That was kind of ridiculous off Effect. I don't think he really needed to throw the pulse bomb. Maybe, I don't know. It was amazing. It was like he was a basketball player. Boom! It was beautiful. Slam dunk, baby. But yeah. So they're not really respecting it. They're just trying to outplay them, doing what they want to do, yeah? There are reasons why they do have the Genji. There are reasons why they do have this team comp. But I don't think it shows enough respect to Detroit Renegades. They think we're so much better, we can just wipe them out. And yeah, it's good being cocky, I think, but it isn't really kind of working out like that. However, I say that, but look at the point. Look at this. Envyus have got 86% on the point, right? What I'd be worried about, though, with Envyus is if we lose this point, it's going to be extremely difficult to get rid of Detroit, well, to get rid of Renegades off the point. Because Mangachu, when he's flying... what happened there? Bit of lag, maybe? When he's flying around that central pillar, with Mercy, how are you going to kill him? It's going to be extremely difficult to get rid of him. So what we've got now is the point has been flipped back, and now it's over to Envyus to get in there and take the point back. And you're probably thinking, well, Sty, this is probably going to be quite easy, because generally the way teams approach this is, what we're going to do is we're going to just, well, get all of our ultimates, press Q, and walk into the point, and then we win. Right? And yeah, that's a good tactic, right? You'd expect that to work. Look at Envyus. They've almost got a Dragon Blade. They've got a Transcendence. So, that, you know, they've got stuff to work with. They've almost got Sound Barrier as well. They're pushing into the point with Coco. They get the Primal Rage out of the Winston there from, well, out of Primo, or Primo, from Renegades. Taimou whips out his blade, he starts cutting and chopping and stabbing and whatever. He's getting a couple of kills, but it's all a bit messy. And this is the problem. And then in comes Sherlocky with a pretty big res. That's a 2-man res. This is... yeah, it's not great, right? You need to go in and be decisive. You can't go in and have these fights where you get a couple of kills, they get a couple of kills, we're using ultimates sort of together, and it's like whatever, because all of this is playing into the hands of Renegades. Look at the point. It is now 77% capped, 78, 79, 80% capped in favour of Renegades. Obviously Envyus, yeah, they still only just need to capture the point and they win. You can see Effect jump off the map there. That wasn't a mistake. That's Effect resetting because he wants to die quick to get back with his team. This is the final attack now for Envyus. Look what Taimou has just done. Taimou was swapped to a McCree, and it's about time. You have been getting demolished by the pharmacy combo, and you have done nothing about it. This is the crazy thing. Yes, admittedly, they've taken it to 99.99, but it could have been so much cleaner if they actually did something to deal with the pharmacy. You know, maybe if they had a Widowmaker player, ladies and gentlemen, or somebody who could just wreck the pharmacy combo, then maybe they should do that. And I'm saying that sarcastically, guys, because Taimou is probably the best Widowmaker player. He is just insanely good, and we are going to get treated to a little bit of that magic in a bit of a jiffy, ladies and gentlemen. So we can see the fight breaking out. It's not going in favour of Envyus, and they've all been wiped off the point, and that's the end of that. They lose the point. And the reason why they lost it is Envyus are a better team. To give you an English Premier League example, Envyus would be like a Manchester United style team, and they're playing like a Southampton or something in Detroit Renegades. They're expected to win. They are not expected to lose. They didn't show them enough respect, and they've paid for it. They know everybody knows Mangachu is a Pharah player. That's what he does. That's his best hero. He's going to play Pharah. This is going to be a very strong pharmacy-based team. You have to work around it. But look what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, Envyus get the message. Taimou is like, you know what? I'm going to play Widow. So he's going to play Widow, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about to get treated to an absolute beautiful Widow session of, well, magnificent. So let's get rid of my squiggle off the screen. And let's watch the kill feed, ladies and gentlemen, because it's very interesting. You know I like saying interesting, but it is interesting. It's super duper interesting. And there we go. Oh dear, what's happened? It looks like Mercy's been annihilated by Widowmaker. Oh dear. Look at what happens now. Look at Sherlocky, right? He's like, uh-oh, I've just been wiped out. I'm going to change to Anna. So, okay, he's going to play Anna now. Oh, no, actually, no. I'm going to play Zen. So he's shown a bit of confusion there, and he does play Zen for the remainder of this point. But he's like, oh god, no, they've just wiped me out, what am I going to do? Taimou's a monster, he's just killed somebody else. But look at what Mangachu's just done there. He has done the ideal thing to get rid of a Widow. If you dive on top of a Widow with Pharah, you can wipe her out. When people talk about Pharah and they're like, get a Soldier 76 to counter her, get a McCree, get a Widow. Yes, they do counter Pharah, but they only counter her when they've got her at range. If Pharah is point blank on top of them, 99% of the time, Pharah will win that duel. And that's kind of like, yes, it's good advice, but can you really play like you play on the ladder in a pro level game? Now, Mangachu's a fantastic player, but what I've noticed with him, he tends to go a little bit sort of ladder mode, where he's like, right, oh, there's a Widow, I'm going to go and dive onto the Widow. You can't really do that against Widow players like Taimou. You can do that against Widow players on the ladder, but not really against pros, because they've got godlike accuracy, and they will punish you for that kind of cheeky behaviour. This here, I'm not really a fan of that either. So he's gone in, and he's popped his barrage. He's got 2 kills as a result of it, but it's not like, I mean, actually, no, I've been a bit harsh there. The reason why I wasn't a fan of that, because it seemed a little bit like, oh, I'm just going to go in and pop my ultimate. But he did secure 2 kills, and that did allow his team to capture the point. So I'll go back on what I've said there. That was a fairly decent use of the ultimate. When I was watching this live, I thought, oh, he's probably going to swap off his hero, right? Because usually, just popping your ultimate like that, yeah, he got some kills, yeah, it helped with the point. It was almost like maybe he was going to go to, I don't know, a Zarya or something like that, potentially. Well, maybe not a Zarya, because he wouldn't go triple tank. Maybe onto a Soldier or something. But he's not really particularly known for that, so... And then he didn't change, so I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. So it kind of worked out. Well, that's fair enough. So what we've got now is the point under control by Renegades. They've got 54% on this point. Effect comes in with a pretty big pulse bomb kill there onto the Winston, which, like, removing the Winston is so powerful because it allows you to sort of pile through and do the rest of the work. Now, when we look at Envyus' team comp, it is dive comp, but dive comp with a Widow. And the reason Widow's there is to get rid of Mangachu. And this, it works in both ways, doesn't it? When I say, yeah, you've got to respect Mangachu, you've also got to respect Taimou. Like, you can't carry on playing into this if you know you're getting wrecked. Or are you getting wrecked? Well, actually, not really. When you look at the score, the percentage, it's in favour of Renegades. So it's not like they're getting wrecked, but you have to ask yourself, why would you persist playing something which is so easily countered by the other team's team comp, and the fact that you've got an exceptional Widowmaker player on the Widow, which is probably going to put a lot of pressure onto you? I think at times like this, it shows almost like the immaturity of certain teams to not be able to adapt and not be able to play around what they've got. Or maybe this is their best team, and this is the only way, and this is about to be ridiculous what you're about to see. Ladies and gentlemen, time just be quiet. Yep. So, you know when I talk about pros having ridiculous accuracy, yeah? Like, that was stupid. That was a Widow just killing a Tracer at point-blank range. Yeah. I mean, we'll see a little highlight reel. They do these really nice highlight reels for contenders at the end of this point, and it will show you some of the shots Taimou pulled off, and they're just frankly crazy. So it looks like Envyus have got control of the point again. Now, it's up to Detroit to get in there and do some work. The thing is, I just feel like they're a little bit too one-dimensional, and this is why they're one of the lower teams in the league, because they've only got a couple of ways that they play, and generally it's always with a Pharah, because, well, why wouldn't you take the Pharah? Because you've got Magnitude, but this means they're so easily readable. Anyway, here we go. This is again one of those examples of maybe a ladder Pharah. I don't want to be too harsh on Magnitude. I mean, he's better than I will ever be at this game, but what he did there is he noticed Taimou fired at him and missed, because we've seen the tracer go by, the red tracer from the bullet, not the hero, from Widow, and he's like, oh, there's the Widow, so he moves around to jump on top of the Widow to kill her, which against a normal Widow probably would work. But as you've seen there, it didn't work because there was also a Zen there. He comes around, he tries to pop his barrage, he gets killed. It's all very messy. Again, that just shows you there is a massive difference between Envyus and Renegades. Like, Envyus are more tactically astute in a way, although they didn't really show that on the first point, did they? But at least they adapted. Anyway, look at these shots. This is the opening kill on the Mercy. Look at that. I mean, it's just they're just like pure reaction flick shots. Watch them as they come in. Like, boom, there's a Lucio dead. And Lucio's hard to hit. I think kills Lucio again. Boom, there's another Lucio. Boom, almost kills the Pharah. And then this is the most ridiculous one where he's getting attacked by a... I mean, at this point, if I was playing Widow, I'd be like, oh my god, what's going on? But what the hell was that? I mean, what the hell was that? How can you even play against that? It's just crazy. And then Envyus go a little bit ridiculous. So then we look at Taimou. What's he doing now, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, well, he seems to have a Junkrat selected. So this goes back again to the idea of using heroes when they're very strong on certain maps. Now, what we've got here is Control Center. This isn't a good map for Pharah. Pharah is a very strong counter to Junkrat. However, Envyus, I'm fairly sure, know that Mangachu will not play Pharah. And in fact, we can see that they've opened up with a kind of Reaper Zarya type of comp here with McCree. And, you know, it's a very interesting comp. Obviously not as interesting as Envyus is because, well, they've got a Junkrat. So they don't expect the Pharah on this point. Instead, what they're doing is they're almost treating Junkrat like he's the president, like he's the king, he's the queen. He's in the middle of the team comp. When you watch as the camera's jumping around, Junkrat is like in the middle of the team. He's always with his Reinhardt. He's always pushing forward. He's always trying to give area control. Effect is popping off on McCree. It's beautiful. There's loads of kills coming through. Not necessarily loads of kills for Junkrat, but what's going on with this Junkrat pick? And guys, remember, this is the old Junkrat. This isn't the new one. This isn't the double concussion mine Junkrat. This isn't the Junkrat with the OP Riptide, let's just say it. This is old Junkrat. But look at what is happening. He is giving so much area control. Renegades are like, what the hell do we do to this? Well, this team comp, I don't really like it, to be honest. Like, they need a diva. They absolutely need a diva to eat in all this incoming damage. I get why Mangachu's on the Zarya. You can get a lot of charge against the Junkrat, so why change? But look at all these kills coming through. Now, obviously, he's got Graviton Surge, so why would you swap off the hero when you've got Grav? Because you could potentially use that to swing a team fight. We've got Zachary there on the Genji. You know, it's basically Detroit Renegades are just walking straight into Envyus' trap, but they know what the trap is. This is what makes it seem kind of crazy to me. It's like, why weren't changes made straight away? Why wasn't it, right, guys, we need to get a diva because we need to stop all this spam coming in because it's destroying our Reinhardt barrier, and then we're just going to push straight in. Then we're going to start diving their backline because if you play around the Junkrat, he's not going to be that effective. And you see there, that grab there off Mangachu, it wasn't really that good. There was a kill there from Jesus with Deadeye, but that's 2 ultimates invested there in a fight. And well, Envyus come back and they invest 2 of their own ultimates in a fight there. They invest Grav and they invest... no, sorry, they didn't invest 2 of their own ultimates. What am I talking about? They just invested Grav. Mickey was glowing, so I thought he had nano boost on him, but he was just supercharged Zarya. So they basically just invested their... well, they invested their sound barrier, so I guess they kind of did. They invested... Grav and sound barrier into that fight just to make sure it was like a one fight. And when you look at what's going on here, it's 80% point control now, and the Junkrat's coming in with a Riptire. This is going to stop the next push. All he needs is a kill, and well, that's all he gets. Bang, kills a Lucio. Well, that's fine. Who cares? That's basically stopped that push because they don't really have that core support available anymore. When we talk about like pro-level Overwatch and we talk about ultimates, it generally does come down to better ultimate use. And if we look at both teams have burnt through their ultimates here, but this is pretty much the final fight. So it's so much in Envyus' favour, it's unbelievable. But Envyus' ultimate management was much better throughout this entire game. But what was interesting about this game is there was all these cheeky picks, all these cheeky changes, and Envyus were clearly the tactically better team. Now, maybe Detroit Renegades were able to change, but they just don't have the personnel, they just don't have the players capable of playing all these different heroes. And we're definitely moving into an era now with professional Overwatch where it's not so much about one tricks or about, well, not one tricks, but people who are just exceptionally brilliant on one hero. You kind of need different heroes, or you at least need a few players on your team that can play a number of heroes to a high standard, because it gives you so much options. Like, you can't just be this one-trick McCree or this one-trick Tracer. Yeah, you can kind of be a one-trick Tracer right now, but if you come against another team that maybe has a better one-trick Tracer, what do you do about that? Can you swap your team comp up? And we're starting to see teams like Envyus, and honestly, that's why I think this team has remained kind of, well, not kind of, it's remained competitive for so long, is because it has been quite flexible. And as the meta has changed through triple tang into dive and all of that stuff, they have been able to change around quite a bit. They weren't the best dive team, but they did manage to change around and do different things to sort of spice that up. Guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost, and this has been ProOverAnalyzed, and this has been a game between Envyus and Detroit Renegades for the Overwatch North American Contenders. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. It's very interesting watching this kind of play, and yeah, I hope we've learned something together, and we know that Taimou can play a load of different heroes as well, which is beautiful. Alright guys, I've been Stylosa, this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.